Welcome back to another episode of DB Sports with myself, Joel, and my guest,
Aaron Thomas.
All right, man. You know we've been in this gym for a while here
Yeah,
at
we have.
Fanatic. We've gone back and forth on a lot of our subjects.
Yep.
I think I'm just gonna go straight into it, man.
Okay.
I don't think Canelo is great as I think Canelo is greater than Hagler.
I think you're wrong.
Time. We've had this debate many times.
We
here.
have. I think Canelo is a great fighter. Yes.
Hold on, let's start off. If they fought at 160, who's winning?
Hagler is winning.
168.
Probably Canelo.
Canelo?
Probably. I
See?
don't know, but that's speculation because Hagler never fought at 68.
I think he could have personally fought at 68.
He probably could have, but he never did, so we can't speak on what actually happened. I don't think Canelo beats James Toney at 160.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Okay.
68, yes.
I don't think so.
I think personally, in my opinion, Roy at 68.
Mm-hmm.
Roy beats him. Canelo.
Joe Calzaghe beats him.
I don't know.
Too fast feet. His feet are too fast.
Ward, I think could. Hopkins, just because of Hopkins is how he fights, and he's such a great mind. Joe, I don't know.
Joe Calzaghe,
I don't know.
Is a better boxer than Erislandy Lara, and some people think Lara beat Canelo.
But Lara is way more defensive. That's what made it hard for him. And then that was a young Canelo.
Offensive.
That's why I'm talking about 68 Canelo, because that's a way more mature guy who's shown he could cut off the ring a lot more better.
But Canelo can't fight people with fast feet.
He did it, but he's proven yes he can. He did it against Billy Joe, who had good defense and fast feet, and he did it against Caleb Plant.
He's not. Caleb Plant can't punch.
So if you're saying that about Joe,
Calzaghe
Joe
can
can't
punch harder than.
No, he cannot. They both can't punch to save their life.
Fighter. You got to go back and watch these films, man.
No.
Because I feel like you haven't spent enough time watching these people,
yes,
man.
No,
Prince Nassim Hamed, he doesn't think is a great fighter.
He's a highly entertaining fighter.
He was a great
Is he the greatest southpaw fighter?
In my opinion, yes.
Over Brendan Whitaker.
Yep, because
over James Toney.
James Toney wasn't. He could fight southpaw, but he wasn't a southpaw.
Over on Paul Williams.
Yeah, I think so. Paul Williams was a great fighter too, but and I like
Usyk
Sergio,
over Usyk too.
Remember Maivia?
Yes.
I can't remember his last name.
Over Pacquiao, greater,
more creative. He was the most creative fighter besides Roy Jones that I've ever seen.
He's one of the most entertaining.
Creative.
Most entertaining.
Creative. He was entertaining because he was so creative. He was so unorthodox, and he could punch with either hand, and he was fast. You gotta watch him.
Okay, anybody in history besides Berra, because Berra whooped his ass. Yeah. Who would have beat him, or who would give him a run for his money? I don't know if you think of anybody else who would have beat him.
Hamed?
Yes.
When he's on top of his game.
Yes. Who in history would have around that division?
Mayweather. Maybe Zab Judah, if Zab Judah boxed up to his potential. What's that guy, Lomachenko? These all been good fights.
But you're putting
not against Mayweather. Not against Mayweather.
Actually,
no. But he's my favorite fighter of all time. He's not the best fighter of all time, but he's my favorite.
From 160 to 168, does anybody beat Roy?
I don't think so.
No? Not one person?
Not one person, no.
Hopkins did.
Who do you think beat it?
Hopkins
beat him when he was an old man.
He still had fast hands, though.
He was an old man, and he had been knocked out 3 times or something like that.
James Toney gave him a good run for his money.
James Toney is an all-time great. That's not appreciated.
So are you going to put Joe Kosaki beating him?
Nope, because he had already been knocked out.
Hey, they're both in the prime to prime.
No, Roy Jones. There's no question.
If you go 60?
If you think Calzaghe can beat Roy Jones, you don't think Calzaghe could beat Canelo?
But styles make fights, though.
I think Canelo benefited from a soft era.
No,
he has no great fighters on his resume.
Okay, so did Ward benefit from a soft era?
Yeah, he did.
Then you can say the same thing about Joe too.
Joe Calzaghe?
Yes, who did he fight? Technically, yes, he has the two great names
Yeah,
that
he
are
does.
Hopkins.
He does.
And the Hopkins was actually a very close fight.
But
It
he
was-
but he beat him.
Yes.
Right. But okay, fine. His era wasn't great. But nobody thinks of Calzaghe as an all-time great like they think of Canelo.
Because he's
That's
from the
an
UK.
all-time great.
Nobody gives a fuck about
Right,
the UK.
exactly. So are we talking facts?
Because
or
boxing
are we
isn't just
talking-
America.
Are we talking facts or are we talking what popularity?
I go off who you've beaten and your skill set.
Who did Canelo beat?
He beat Lara. He beat
Okay.
Trout. He beat
Not a
Cotto.
great fighter. Not a great fighter.
He beat Triple G.
I think Cotto's an overrated fighter.
But he still was a
Triple
tricky
G-
guy to beat up a lot of guys.
Triple G wasn't a great fighter. I'm sorry.
Yes, he
No,
was.
he was not.
I think Triple G gives Hagler a run for the fucking money. But you would at least give me that. That would be one entertaining fight,
It
though.
would be, yeah.
Because you know they're both going to be right there throwing bombs at each other.
I think
You know why I say that he gives them? Because we have never seen Triple G get wobbled. We've seen Hagler get wobbled.
right, but I really don't put too much stock in that because you ever seen the face-off between Bernard Hopkins and John Pascal,
Yeah.
where they were making fun of Hopkins for getting knocked down, but he's like, that's just part of the game. It's not what happens; it's what happens next. You know, he didn't give up after he got wobbled. Right,
Yeah.
that's the mark of a fighter.
Pretty much everybody gets
Nah.
dropped eventually in
Yeah,
their career.
exactly.
Yes.
Like if you got a chin and you never been tested, that doesn't show that you have heart because you got a chin. You know,
But he lost to a 135er Hagler.
who?
Sugar Ray Leonard. He was a 135er that blew up all the way to 160 in 4 years
what
off.
did he begin his career as?
Who?
Sugar Ray Leonard.
135,
No,
130.
he did not.
Where?
147.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did. Yes,
No,
he
not.
did.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
He still lost to
Because he
147.
wouldn't fight Aaron Pryor at 140.
Even if you want to put 147, he still lost to a smaller guy that
Yes,
was
he did.
147.
But Sugar Ray Leonard was
And
name
off
guy.
4-year
He
layoff.
was a name guy. It depends on who you talk to, right? I mean, some people think Hagler was.
Oh yeah, no, it was. But he, off the monster puncher that people hit him, which he is a big puncher. Yes, he was.
He wasn't.
I
he was
don't
a
think he
value
was-
guy. He wasn't a one-hitter quitter.
Now you fight depending on who you ask.
No,
It's
he's a
depending
value
on how
guy.
you ask.
But I watch his fights. though.
I've seen his fights. I just think
Okay.
he reminds a lot of him reminds me of Michael Jordan. Not that they're not great; they are great,
Please don't.
but they exaggerated way too much.
Please
Fans,
don't. You never watched Michael Jordan to
fans
know.
exaggerate
You
him.
never watched Jordan to know. Jordan was great.
He was
He's the GOAT.
exaggerated. He
Jordan-
is good.
Exaggerated.
No,
How
Ha-
do you exaggerate?
because they
the
portrayed that he's like the
greatness.
greatest thing in the
He
world.
was.
He lost to you want to say a 47er? He lost to. He got. How did he not knock out
Oh,
Raw?
you're not talking about Jordan anymore.
No.
Okay, good.
No,
All
I
right.
tell you, Jordan is great.
Jordan
No,
is
he
the
is.
greatest. The
yes.
greatest.
No, he's not the
Greater
greatest.
than
No.
LeBron.
But I
greater than
also say
Kobe.
that I'm biased to Kobe because Kobe is my Jordan.
Yeah, but Kobe can't be greater than Jordan because Kobe copied everything that Jordan did, and he won less.
And he made it better.
And he was
He made it better.
A worse shooter. He
Wait.
wasn't as good as a defender. How can he be better?
How was-
Not
how was Jordan?
athletic.
We'll save this for the podcast that is
Wait
the
a
NBA
second, let me
version.
put this because you're gonna say how's Jordan a better defender because he won Defensive Player of the Year.
When
Kobe
most of the time
never
he had
did
Pippen.
that.
He had
No, he
Pippen
didn't have
guard.
Pippen at the
What happened
time.
when they played the
He
match
didn't have
when they played the
Pippen at
Lakers?
time.
What happened when they played the Lakers?
Doesn't
Magic
have
was
to do with
destroying them.
anything.
Magic until they went.
That's a
No,
bad
Pippen.
matchup. You don't think Kobe had
Kobe
bad
would have shut his
matchups?
ass down.
You don't think
Kobe would have
bad
shut his ass down.
matchups?
Kobe would have shut. We're gonna. This is a boxing podcast. We'll save the NBA one for some other day with Ellis.
All right.
With
Well,
Ellis.
Ellis don't know what he's talking about. Shout out to
Anywho.
Ellis.
Yeah, shout out to Ellis. Hopefully we get him on here.
Yeah.
But no, Hagler gets exaggerated.
By who?
The fans.
You don't think Canelo gets exaggerated?
Yes, but
Okay,
also I
then.
but I don't exaggerate him. I say he loses to Roy.
Who? And he loses to David Benavidez.
No, he does
Yes,
not.
he does.
No,
which
he does
is why
not.
he won't fight.
However, we've seen Benavidez go down off a bit, not a big puncher.
Okay.
He's never fought a big puncher. We've never seen what he could.
He just moved up to 175.
And the dude he just fucking fought was not a puncher for shit.
He wasn't a weak puncher. He just wasn't a devastating puncher. Canelo's not a
he-
devastating puncher anymore. He's
He
not.
clearly he's fighting these guys who come into the fight 200 pounds.
Right, but he's
him
not.
barely 170 and he's still dropping these fuckers.
He dropped one guy.
He doesn't finish them because you hear Paulie and Chris Audrey talk
You
about.
watch him? Yeah.
You thought it's not that he don't have the power; he just doesn't have that killer instinct no more because
And what do you think is going to happen against a guy who does?
who doesn't have no power.
David
He
Benavidez
does
don't
not-
have no power.
Did you not see his
Are you
last fight?
kidding me?
Yeah, he was cracking the dude so, and he never wore him down.
So what?
Benavidez exaggerated too. We all know if he fights Bivol or Benavidez or Arthur Beterbiev, he will get sat
I
down.
need to see it to believe it.
'Cause you know he'll get-
Bevel's not a power puncher.
I bet he'll still put him down.
What? We got to see it to see what
Think of it?
happens.
Think of it?
Yeah, we got to see it. We could,
Think of it.
they'll never.
But you know
they're
Arthur
not gonna
Beterbiev
fight.
beats the shit out of him. As long as he doesn't get
I
aged
don't
too
know.
much.
After he got exposed by Bevel.
But when if you
You
put
can
Bivol,
protect yourself.
Bivol and Benavidez are two different fighters though. Bivol is like just you. One thing you constantly preach to people on is their feet. You know damn well both their feet are two different feet.
Right.
Bivol has amazing feet.
Okay.
Benavidez does not have amazing feet.
Okay.
It might be more very good forward wise. And if you
He's
ever
got
watch
quicker
him,
hands though. He's got quicker hands. Yes,
but
he
if you're
does.
gonna if you're gonna stay in the pocket, that's
better,
a dangerous
better
game.
combination puncher. He is. He just.
But he don't have the power to stop Bivol.
I don't know that.
Or Arthur Beterbiev, I mean,
I
Arthur
don't
Beterbiev.
know that.
No, he don't. He
I
don't.
don't know that.
Because if you watched his last fight, like you told me, watch him. I watched it because I watched it with Coach G. Even Coach G's went, no, clearly he's not a 175er, but he's too big for
Not
6'8".
yet.
He's not gonna put on muscle.
How do you
he's not,
know?
because he's a flabby Mexican.
He-
He's not. He started doing strength and conditioning. Where's the difference you've seen in his body?
Give him time.
He's
Give him
not.
time.
He's
He
not.
will.
He's not a big puncher. Even Caleb Plant said it. Caleb Plant talked about how he goes. He's
Didn't
not
he,
a.
Didn't he
bit-
stop Caleb?
No, it went 12 rounds. He never hurt Ben. He never hurt Caleb Plant.
No, he
He
hurt.
he got him tired and just
He
beat the
hurt
shit out of him.
He hurt.
No, he did not.
Let me rewatch
Bivol,
that fight there. before I
Bivol
speak
even
on
talked
it.
about because Bivol sparred him many times. He goes, no, he goes, Benavidez has faster hands. Yes, he does. He's admitted to it. He goes, but no, Canelo hits way harder. He goes, every punch Canelo throws is going to be a hard punch and then you will feel it. He goes, Benavidez does not hear. He goes, and he sparred him. He goes,
Canelo's
and he
what?
sit on it.
Canelo's 25 punches around. I mean,
But they're
he's
very
not
effective
throwing
punches.
anything.
They're very effective
Okay,
punches.
but then he's got to reach up. He's got to fight a taller guy.
He'll cut his ass down.
He doesn't do good with tall guys.
He fucking beat Calvin Smith. That's a tall dude.
These are whatever people.
What tall guy did he struggle with?
He struggled with the last two tall guys he
He
fought.
beat them.
Barely, though.
How did he-
barely beat what's that guy, Malunga?
No, he did not.
barely beat
No,
him.
he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he
and
didn't.
then the other guy.
If you ask the whole boxing world,
no,
a lot of them
what's
actually
the
think he
other
carried
guy?
them.
What's the other guy before this guy?
Before Malanga?
Yeah.
Blanca, the
No.
Puerto Rican,
Not him, the Mexican, the taller guy.
Munguia.
Munguia.
If
Yeah,
you
that
ask,
was a close fight.
until he got that knockdown, from there the knockdown on, if you hear it from Robert to a lot of guys, they say in their interviews of it,
Okay.
how he carried him. He didn't want to finish him
Carried. Why? That doesn't make sense to me.
because Canelo, I think, is one of these special few dudes, just like Triple G and a lot of the old school guys are,
This is
where they don't fear the power that comes back.
this is bullshit. You're in a fight game. I'm carrying him for what?
Because he
People
does.
wanna
Because
see
he's a
knockouts.
Mexican fighter, and he knows if he knocks him out. And I'm not speaking this out of my ass. There is these high-level boxing people who have said this because they went. He don't want to ruin his
Oh,
Mexicanness.
come on, come on, man. Why he didn't?
He bought him a fucking Range Rover after the fight.
Why he didn't? That just shows you he's fighting bums. He's
No,
not
he
fighting.
respects him.
He's not fighting people that
He
he's
says he'll
afraid
be the
of.
next when he's done. He'll be the next Mexican star.
He's not fighting people he's afraid of.
He's not afraid of
He's
nobody.
not- bullshit.
Who's he
Bullshit.
afraid of?
David Benavidez.
Why would he be
would
afraid of
fight
him? Why would he be afraid of David Benavidez?
Because he could lose. That's
when
why.
he knows Benavidez don't hit hard.
He's afraid of people.
How if he wants a rematch with him?
Cause he gonna, yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not afraid.
No, he's not. I don't think he
That
literally.
doesn't mean
None
he's
of
not
these dudes
afraid.
scared him. I don't think none of these dudes are scared of
But
him.
maybe that's his problem. He's not afraid. He needs to be
you-
afraid. Maybe you train hard.
I never question Canelo's training. I just think
everybody's afraid when they step in there.
I just
Don't
think that
act like
he's gotten
not afraid.
older. So his output can't be that great anymore.
Everybody's afraid when they step in there. Don't tell me
I don't
that
think he
he's
is.
just, he's
I
just
think
a fearless guy.
I think personally until he gets knocked out, if he continues on, he will happen one day, because you know it will. Hardly anybody doesn't get knocked out. It's hardly ever.
Mayweather didn't.
Yeah, but he was so come on. What name a big puncher besides Pacquiao did he fight? And he was so defensive, such great at his
Morales,
defense.
Shane Mosley.
But that was all. When he got to his turret, mostly dudes get knocked out in their later parts.
De La Hoya.
Get the fuck out if you think Oscar De La Hoya is a big puncher. Bless you.
He had a great left hook.
He was not a big puncher. He was
He
not a big
had
puncher.
a great left hook. How many people did he knock
think-
out
hold
with
on.
his left hook?
Hold on. Do you think De La Hoya is greater than Canelo?
No.
I would say he's a bigger,
I think
bigger
De La
star than
Hoya
him.
is overrated. De La Hoya is
Thank you.
overrated.
Fucking thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
you.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a bigger star than Canelo.
You
Or
don't
greater.
You don't like Eric Morales. You don't like Barrera.
Why wouldn't I like him?
I talked to you about it. You
Bro,
said
I think-
said they're all
but-
overrated.
Overrated to compare to Canelo and Chavez, yes.
Popularity wise, that's what I think you do a lot of.
Who have they beat?
I don't know. I have to go back and look. It's been a while.
Then a lot of people think Morales is very overrated.
Who is that?
A lot of
The
Mexican
same
fans.
people that think Prince Nassim is overrated.
He, the one famous big dude he fought, he lost and he quit. He fucking quit.
Kevin Kelly.
Why did he quit?
knocked
Why
him
did he
out.
quit? Why did he quit?
Maybe
When he
his
could-
mind wasn't there.
His mind. And he fucking every time he did a bad performance, it was always because there was an excuse.
Every time he only had one.
No, against the other, was it Jones dude he fought that knocked him down? He made a lot of excuses
He
going
got
into that
knocked
fight.
down a lot of times in his fights, but he got up and won. He lost one time.
He would always make an excuse.
You gotta watch the fights, man. I don't believe you watch the fights. I don't think you.
You
spend
want me to also
hours-
train my people to be like Prince Asim. I'm not gonna train my people to be Prince
You
Asim.
can't train them to be like that. I said watch them so you could get an understanding of what's possible in boxing. He did shit that you don't think is possible, man. Just like Roy Jones did shit you don't think is possible. You gotta watch the best to know what the limits are.
Does Prince Asim beat Chavez?
I don't know, man. Pernell Whitaker did.
But
They didn't give it to
you know
him.
what's, but well, you know, and I fully will agree that Pernell Whitaker won that fight.
Yeah.
I fully agree he won that fight. But I think Pernell Whitaker had,
You don't think Pernell Whitaker was a great fighter?
but no, when you compare it to some people like to Canelo, no, Canelo is greater than
Shame
Pernell
on
Whitaker.
you, man.
He's greater.
Shame on you. He came up
Canelo
in
was a bigger
rougher-
star.
He came up, yes, but why is that? Why is he?
Pernell
a
Whitaker
bigger
had no
star?
personality to save his life.
Whitaker was a cokehead from Norfolk, Virginia.
Who?
He was a cokehead from Norfolk, Virginia.
Pernell
Pernell
Whitaker?
Whitaker.
I never knew he was a cokehead.
He's not going to get that type of backing. He didn't have.
Look at Chavez was a cokehead.
So what? But he had a country behind him.
He had America. He did the USA
Are
boxing.
you kidding me? You don't know nothing about
No,
black people.
but remember, but
We don't get love like that.
but he had no personality though.
Exactly.
Not
He had no
everybody does,
personality.
though.
That's why I say he was a cokehead from Norfolk, Virginia.
He had the skills to be a.
Why did people?
Great-
When did people start liking Mayweather? When they started hating his ass. That's when they started backing
Yeah, but he had a
him.
personality though.
Right, but it took him being hated by people to make him so famous. It's a different road for us.
But it's just like James Toney. James Toney is a great fighter.
Right.
He's a great fighter, but he didn't have the greatest personality to
Okay.
make him to be the next level.
That's what
Roy
I'm
had his style really did the famousness from. He didn't really much didn't say shit. That's the amazing.
Roy
speed.
Jones wasn't as big as Canelo.
No, but he was a big star though. But
he
it was because
athletically superior.
he was a special breed.
Now, just give Canelo Roy Jones' skill. How big of a star you think Canelo would be?
Yeah, he'd been amazing. He'd be like the biggest stars of all time.
Exactly.
If you gave fucking De La Hoya some actual fucking power and to find the way to
does
win,
have power. He just didn't have a right hand.
he didn't have the power enough to be able to beat all the fucking top guys.
Yeah, but
If Sugar Shane Mosley should have been a way bigger star because he actually had the speed, the power. He just didn't have that personality to him. He had physically the look. It's not like he was a funny looking dude,
yeah, but then he lost to people too.
but when he was coming, he didn't have that. It was just that it factor. A lot of guys don't have it factor. Phil Whitaker had all the skills you could ask for. The speed, the defense. To me, personally, he is the greatest defensive fighter of all time.
Okay.
Because he knew how to make. Floyd had, if you just go straight defense to no like counter with it, Floyd is the greatest defensive fighter.
Yeah.
But Floyd didn't do a lot of counters. It was just really,
Yes.
but it was his counters, boom, boom.
Yeah.
His towards the second half when he really went into defense, it was really the counter. He never went bop, 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 bop.
Yes,
He knew not to throw too much.
Okay, I give you that.
He knew not,
but
not
catch and shoot was
No,
his
okay.
bread and butter.
But Bill Whitaker to James Toney, those motherfuckers, their defense
Yeah,
of
I got
how
you.
they defense to offense, which I appreciate more. And that's what I said. If you just go
No, I give
Floyd,
Tony that.
if you just
over
give
Pernell
Floyd
Whitaker.
just straight defense, not defense to offense, because that's a lot of part of it.
Yeah.
Floyd is the greatest because he was so great at it. But Bill Whitaker, Bill Whitaker and James Toney, how they made defense to offense, it was so fucking amazing.
Right.
But they both didn't have a personality. But not everybody does.
Right. You think Canelo has a personality?
Now he does.
He does not.
Yeah, the shit he
does-
says.
Okay, now.
Hey, but
But
that's
at
what's
the
made him
beginning,
into
he
the
didn't.
greater star that he is not. That
He was a star before he had a personality.
or because we hit a low of Mexicans, so because he had his country.
You have exactly.
But now with the American crowd, because he speaks his English, he's gotten better. The interviews you see him do a big boy, how he's going, because he'd be going like that with the fingers with your wife, huh? He's funny. He's hit the funny levels now to the American culture now. All that before he was just very famous Mexican culture.
Right.
Like that. Now he's hit to another level because he speaks his English. That's what a lot of different dudes. Triple G, if he knew how to fucking bet you speak better English, he'd probably be a bigger star. Personally, but he didn't speak his English. But Bill Whitaker and all these guys didn't have. It's like Marquez. Marquez was a very good fighter.
Yeah.
He had no personality to save his life to become a famous star. You think after knocking out
But
Pacquiao,
that's rare though.
he should have went to another level of fame?
That's
but he
rare
didn't.
though. That's rare to get.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why Bill Whitaker is great. But if you want to say stars, like the top few, he didn't have that.
Thank you.
It was a very good